Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Focus with Crystal. I'm your girl, Crystal Hughes, and I am excited to be here relaunching again with my dear, excellent friend and mentor at this point, Dr. Melanie Bonita. She is a best time seller, bookseller that is, as well as a marketing guru. And she's going to be talking to us today about the importance of marketing, how she wrote her book, how she became a bestseller, the steps it takes, and how important marketing played, what role marketing played in that for her. So we're excited to have her on the show. So just give the people a little bit of background about who you are, Dr. Melanie Bonita. I'm excited to have you, and thanks for coming on to today's Focus of Crystal. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Crystal. I'm so excited about your relaunch of this show, and I'm just really, really excited. But a little bit of background about the vision for the how I became a bestseller really is when God gave me the vision for my book. I like to tell people this. I started the very next day because it doesn't take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to write a book. But when God gave me the vision, I started the next day and I wrote every day. I fasted and prayed, and literally 30 days later, my first book, Daily Dose of Determination, was completely written. Well, he told me it was going to be a bestseller. And so I went to work because guess what? Faith without works is dead, right? So I went to work. I started doing the research and I actually put out a whole plan for me. Didn't know it was going to be for other people, but I put out a plan for me on how to make this book a bestseller because God told me it was going to be a bestseller. Well, fast forward to the day it was released on August 5th, 2011. Not only was it a bestseller, but it became number one. So I knew it was going to be a bestseller, Crystal. I just didn't know it was going to be number one. And so people start asking me, well, how did you do it? But it was a strategy. Everything to me is a strategy. Y'all put that in the comment section. Everything is a strategy.
It is in structure, girl. Structure and strategy. Yes.
I like that. Yes, add to it structure and strategy.
Yes,
Structure and
yes, yes,
strategy.
yes.
So yeah, so I put that strategy in place and it really worked. And so I started, people say, well, how did you do it? So I started teaching other people. People said, oh, that's too much work. Can you do it for me? So I created an instant bestseller plan and voila, I've helped over 400 authors become Amazon bestsellers.
That's amazing. So that is a lot to, that's a lot. So first of all, you just got a call from God and said, okay, write this book. And you fasted and prayed. And I really believe in fasting and prayer, because me, myself, with the organization that I have right now with Capital Foundation, I fasted and prayed for that. And I'm so glad that years later, 20 years later, it's still is holding its weight and God is still prevailing and showing through that. So yeah, that's amazing that you accomplish that, because a lot of people don't understand how much spirituality do go into starting a project, and actually having faith enough to complete the project, not only to start the project but complete the project. And I think that's what a lot of people who want to write books, they want to write a book. People, I meet so many people, being a book author, and the first thing they say is, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. And they like, how do I get started? So you happen to come up with a way. Hi everybody. Hi Kimberly, just to say hi. Got some people saying hi. Just so people can get a start. It is very a lot of work. It's a lot of work to sit down and write a book. It's a lot of work to edit the book. It's a lot of work, but there's no wrong way of doing it. It's just like, just get it done. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Just get it done. There's no wrong way of getting a book done. There's no wrong way of writing a book. It's no wrong way. A book is like art. Can you vouch for that? A book is more so like art. So it's not about if it's the great. They say 80% of books have at least 20% of error messages or error typos and things like that.
Wow.
So even if it's not perfect, just get the first one out. And that's very important. So how did it feel once you got your first book out and it became a bestseller? Like, what transition from, just okay, I got this book idea, now I'm fasting, and now I'm a bestseller. Like, what happened? Like, what's the breathtaking of being a bestseller?
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, let me go back to one thing you said real quick though, because I didn't want to interrupt you. You said just get it done. So one of my philosophies, and hey Tamara, uh, is done beats perfection. Right.
Mhm.
So even if it does have errors, you can always go back and update it, even if it has a situation, but get it done, just like you said. So
Yes.
one of the things was the breathtaking thing that happened for me is when I released my book, it opened a lot of doors. It opened doors for divine connections with movers and shakers. It opened doors for speaking engagements. It opened doors with, I mean, it really opened so many doors that I was like, wow, God, I'm just like astonished by what he did as a
Right.
result of me finishing and releasing the book. So when I say the speaking engagement, like people tell me all the time, I want to be a speaker. I want to be a speaker. Well, like you're talking about marketing today, well, you have to get out there. If people are not going to hire you to speak if they don't know who you are.
Yes.
When you're an author, right? When you're an author, it's like people want to know what your book is about, and they'll hire you to speak so you can talk about what your book is about. So, when like I said, for me, it really opened up a lot of doors, and it really made me considered to be the authority in my niche, so to speak, because I had become a best-selling author. So I don't know, like I said, I was just really excited that so many people were blessed, but not only being blessed, Crystal,
Yes.
or helping to bless myself in obedience, but blessing other people. I
Mhm.
mean, from the time I wrote my book, I have so many testimonies, but the biggest testimony, Crystal, was the fact that someone told me that my book kept them from committing suicide. So my question to people that say they want to write a book, like who would be dead as a result of you not writing the book that God
Right.
told you to write?
Right.
Yeah, because it's serious. The book, God gave us the vision, not for us. He gave it to us so other people could be blessed. So it's like we have to get it out so somebody else could be blessed by the work God has given us. And like I said, it could be done in 10 days, it could be done in 30. It doesn't have to take 3, 4, 5 years. And when you say people say they want to write a book, and then my other question to them is, how bad do you want it? If you really want it bad, you wouldn't turn on the television, you wouldn't go on social media. I
Right.
mean, literally on my lunch break I wrote, because I was working at the Pentagon at the time. On my at the weekends I wrote, evenings I wrote. I mean, I was so diligent and disciplined. I shut everything down for those 30 days and got that book done.
Yeah. And you know what? One thing that you said, and is confirmation, is that sometimes we do things not for us but for other people. And I was saying to myself, like, I'm finishing up my book, The Loop, right? I wrote a book called
Mm.
The Loop, and it talks about how we get into loops and loops in life, and as kids our loops are created sometimes, mainly, we don't have control when we're younger, but when we're older we start to create our own loops, and we don't realize that it could be from things that we experienced as a younger child, et cetera, et cetera. But I said to myself, like, I really want to get this book done. And I said, well, if I procrastinate, who
Mm.
could this book, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody might really need this book right now. And I'm
Mhm.
sitting here procrastinating, knowing that it's, because sometimes God gives you books, but also it's like when you teaching someone, you also teach yourself. They say the teacher get better when teaching. So if you ever
Right.
want to get great at something, they said teach somebody else,
Mm.
and then you yourself will become better.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
in essence, your books also help to form and change your mindset as well, especially when you have those self-help books that you're writing. So like
Absolutely.
my book is a novelty, and your books, you have the purpose of prayer. You have what made you want to use the word the purpose of, and then you just went on with that, the purpose of this, the purpose of uh
Oh, daily dose. Yeah, daily dose of prayer, daily dose of determination, daily dose. Yes.
yes.
Well, I didn't say this earlier, Crystal. That's a great question. But when God gave me the vision for my book, He didn't just give me a book, He gave me a book series. Okay.
Right,
A book series. So it wasn't just a title for one book. So I currently have like 100 books to write now. Initially, it was like 33 books in the Daily Dose series, but now He's giving me children's books. He's giving me, I mean, all kinds of just books to write. And so I just have to continue the process and just obey God and just keep moving forward in what He called me to do.
right. And that's amazing that you're doing that. So you said that being and writing a book has opened up so many doors for you.
Yes.
And so what kind of doors, so people can kind of get a little bit excited at the possibility.
Yeah. So
I
I would say
know,
speaking engagements. Yeah,
yes,
speaking engagements was the one that had the most impact. Speaking engagements was one of them. Opportunities as a coach, like I said, to coach other authors in marketing strategies. I really was able to, like I said, navigate and network with movers and shakers. And let me just say this, when you talk about movers and shakers, I'm talking about major movers and shakers like Les Brown, Dr. Willie Jolley. I'm talking
yes,
about the great George Frazier, and just I'm talking big time, like speaking at the same events as Lisa Nichols. And so those type of opportunities came as a result of me speaking about being a bestseller and teaching people how to be a bestseller. And when those doors started opening, your network and connections. And I don't know if you ever heard this term before, but it says your net worth is determined by your network, right?
yes,
So when you have those type of networks, when you're already connecting with and speaking with motivational speakers and million people that are already millionaires and
yes.
billionaires, so to speak, then that really, just like I said, they sometimes they connect you to other people in their network as well. And it just becomes you just really start networking with high worth people that will help teach you and show you how to go to the next dimension.
And that's one thing I do gather, being like in that book writing crew and that book writing world. It's another genre. It's another skeptical of people as far as like art when it comes to artists. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a philanthropist, an environmentalist, and and a book author. So it's exciting to be all those things. But how, like, one of the things you said is that people, it's hard to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write my life story. Now you have AI that can help you write a book quickly. What are some tips that you can give somebody out there who's saying, okay, well, I'm going to use AI to help me write my book. I finally can get it. I'm just going to use my little pointers to write my book and go from there. So do you use AI now that being a bestseller? I'm sure that was before AI, right?
It definitely was before AI in 2011, when I mean before we knew, or because people have been using AI for years just in different ways. But yes, it was before AI as we know it now. So I actually, yes, wrote my books before then. And now sometimes what I do is I'll actually speak. So
Yeah.
AI allows me to speak my thoughts and speak the prayer. And so if I'm doing a daily dose of prayer and doing a prayer every day, I could go ahead and just start saying a prayer, and then AI will type it out for me. And then I may say, well, restructure it so it flows. And then, but as the content is ultimately coming from me, but AI is just assisting me in making it better and getting it done a lot faster.
Right.
Hmm.
So that's amazing. And so when you say you coach people, how does
Yes.
how does that work?
Yes. So I have authors, aspiring authors, just like you say, people tell you all the time, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. So I coach them. So I have a six-figure author. I have a group coaching, which is my six-figure author academy. And then I also have in addition to the group coaching, I also have an individual one-on-one coaching. So I could do a one session with you to help you either write and or market your book. I could do a 1 hour strategy session to help you, to show you how to become a bestseller. And guess what? Today is 50% off if anybody wants that. So the sessions, depending on what your goal is and what your budget is, If you want to do a one session or if you want to do a 90-day session, I could coach. But ultimately, they're going to learn how to get more speaking engagements, how to become a bestseller. They're going to learn, I mean, just about any and everything. I will audit their website. I will audit their speaker reel if they have a speaker one sheet if they have a speaker one sheet. Just really show them how to get more book signings, more speaking engagements. I mean, like I said, help them with their social media, letting them know about marketing, because that's the biggest key. I spoke to a lady today. She literally has 30 books and she doesn't have any money. She doesn't, I mean, she still works a job. I'm like, with 30 books, you should be free from your job. Like,
Yes,
I haven't worked.
yes. And
Yeah.
it's so many things that people don't really know. Like I was looking up today in reference to, even me learning about being an author, like, getting an equipment loan as an author so you could be able to have the things you need, the office space, office equipment and all that things to write your book. Those things and the funding that's available to authors and the grants that are available to authors. There's a lot of grants available for authors, especially if you're depending on if you're writing about educational resources. It's a lot of grants available for education and writing and art. So that is like a part of being able to share like your resources through your program. You say that you help people become bestsellers. So
Yeah.
in that part of being a bestseller or writing that first book and getting that first autograph,
Mhm.
to me was one of my favorite. I was like, wow, I actually sold my book. I sold a book. So it's not hard to me to sell a book because people like stories
Right.
and people like to read, even though, quote unquote, you think that a lot of people like to sit in front of the TV, but a lot of times people do like to cuddle up with a nicer book, especially sometimes at work, when they're just, on break time. Some people want to
Yes.
sit and read their book while they're on break or while they're riding on the train to work.
Absolutely.
So books are still very, very much so popular. So how do you keep yourself relevant, throughout the years? Because like you said, you started out when there wasn't AI and now you
Mhm.
have AI and you have a series of books. So
Yeah.
how do you keep your books relevant in today?
I will say that the main thing is definitely social media. Don't sit on social media. Okay. So social media, social media, social media. I know before we started, you talked about, TikTok, Snapchat. I mean, there's so many now. 30 years ago, they
Yes.
didn't have social media. They
No.
had to really work so much harder and we could work smarter. And people are like, I'm scared to go live. I don't like to go. All these excuses, like eliminate the excuses, turn the camera on and start talking, right? Like we are now, right? Most people are watching. And hey, and thank you so much. Shout out to Sister Aretha and my girl Tamara and LaShonda saying she's a great coach. She's a wonderful coach. Uh,
Yes.
Sister Aretha and LaShonda are co-authors, and my book the ebook was just released. The paperback will be released next month. And so I teach them all the time in classes and teach them about social media. But that's to me the biggest thing with the visibility, like Sister Aretha says, is literally social media. Social
Right.
media is free, and I really believe if we maximize it, that will help keep relevant. In addition to, of course, your mailing list, your text marketing list, but you have to be out there, and you have people will know who you are. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And if you're not out there being visible, how are they going to know, like, or trust you?
That's true. That's very true. And I myself is very shy, and that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day when it comes to us actually having to get out there and share our stories, because it is a lot of work to actually get out here and like do social media and even just putting up the show together. We had to get on here like 45 minutes early, and still there's a little bit glitches, you know what I'm saying? But hey, the show must go on.
That's right.
The show must go on. And
And
so
like I said before, done beats perfection. So it may not be perfect, but we still on, right?
yeah, because it's art, baby. It's life is art. There's no wrong way of just do it. Just get it done. And I believe that with people can find people like you that could coach them through and tell them different things and show them the pathway, uh, how to get started. Because I know when I first started, I was in a particular situation and God helped me and guided me through. But a lot of people don't have that. So today, a lot of people are spending money. And even though I paid to get my book edited, it still wasn't edited properly. And I'm like, and people don't understand, like, dang, I spent $1,000 and still got, you know what I'm saying? Like, it still got, issues. And I'm like, do you continue to spend the money to fix it? No, you don't. You just get it out there. And the next book, you try to do better, you get a better company, but you don't want to stop and freeze. So is there any moment when you were like going through your series and your books that you just froze and was like, and what do you do when you get to that point where you freeze up? Because even if you decide to say, okay, I'm gonna start this book, I'm gonna start writing, you might get to a point where you freeze, like you get frozen, you don't know what the next step is. So what do you say to someone who is starting to write but now they're stuck?
Absolutely. So I have a couple things that I recommend. So one of the things you want to do is, of course, you want to pray, right? If you pray and if you know the Lord, and if you fasting and praying to
Yeah.
me will break any type of what people call writer's block, right? When they get stuck, they call it writer's block. So if you fast and you pray and you just ask God to just, open it up and just get rid of that writer's block, he will give you the answer. Matthew 6:7-7, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open unto you. So I'm asking God, like, God, I need, a breakthrough. I need you to open this door right now. So asking God. Number two, the biggest thing I do is I go to my place of peace. What do I mean like that? What do I mean by that? I like being by the water. When I go to the water, whether it's a beach, whether it's a river, a lake, I don't care what it is, but if I'm by the water, my writing flows better because I get clarity. It's like my mind is at ease. It's like I don't know what it is about when I'm by the water. So some people, their place of peace could be, I don't know, somewhere else. But wherever that place of peace is, go to that place of peace, and that should give your mind clarity and clear your mind. And once your mind is clear, then you can go and start writing again. So I've had someone say before, sitting in their car is their place where they think and they write, or in the shower. I'm like, if that's where it is, then get your revelation there. Wherever where you get fresh revelation from, that's where you want to do. The next thing is number three. This is the last thing I'm going to share about. Get rid of the clutter. A lot of times, if your area is clutter that you're trying to work in, then your mind is cluttered as well. So you want to be in a place that it's kind of clutter free. So if you have to leave your house to go right, again, if you got to go to Starbucks, or if you have to go, well, Starbucks kind of loud. If you want to have to go to Panera or just somewhere,
Right.
so you can go ahead and just free your mind. Those are some of the things I think people can do so that they can go ahead and get the results of getting rid of that writer's block and being unstuck, right? We want to help you get unstuck. The lab. Oh, okay. Sister Aretha said the library. Okay. Yes, the library is definitely a quiet place where people go to get unstuck.
Yes. And you know what? The library is my favorite place. I go to the library almost every day. I do. And I am like a big geek. But it took a lot. It took God to sit me down for me to actually appreciate the library. And I really do appreciate the library because there you can actually get a lot of things done, for especially like printing and stuff like that. It just gives you that environment to be able to create in peace. So I do agree with that with the library. And that was some really great tips because a lot of time it might be noisy. It's so many things now that you can write about. You can write about, how to keep the house quiet, or when to clean when the kids go to bed, the best time to clean. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
many things now that, and it's we want to know. We want to know. You know what I'm saying? We want to know, like, what do you know? And the great thing about it, books has been around for generations, far as, they said that the books came from Egypt and things of that nature. And I really think that books are just a way that people share their life experiences. And it's a great way to do so. You know what I'm saying? Because you could you can save somebody a lot of turmoil just from reading a book.
Yes.
A lot of headache, a lot of frustration just from reading a book. So one of your books, purpose books, I wanted to you can go on Amazon. I follow you on Amazon. How can people follow you on Amazon and check out your books and find out more about you? We're going to actually go into a quick commercial really quick. So yeah, shout out your Amazon, because this will be our first commercial. Let them go. Hello.
Absolutely. When you go to Amazon, you could just put in Melanie Bonita, Bonita. That's Melanie. And when you go there, you're going to click on my name and it'll take you to my Amazon Author Central page. And it's a thing that says follow. And so when you hit that follow button, every time I have a new book come out, you will get you will get an email from Amazon. Yep. See right there, my Amazon store, Melanie Bonita. Thank you. And literally you will get an email from Amazon letting you know, but you got to click on that follow button when you go to my Amazon page. It has my bio, it has all of my books listed there. And if you are an author, make sure you have your own Amazon page as well. And you ask people to follow your Amazon page. Okay.
Yes. And you guys are watching today's Focus with Crystal. Real talk, real people, real impact. We are here to inspire, uplift, and share our stories, because as entrepreneurs, small business owners, we have so many different stories and so many different challenges and obstacles that we overcome on a daily basis. And it's always good to just be able to share, communicate, and uplift each other. And we air every Wednesday, 7 p.m. here live on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. So you'll see us. You know what I'm saying? We're here. And if you want to promote your business, all you got to do is call 443-892-0807. Again, that's 443-892-0807. And don't forget about donating your hair. Listen up. Barbers, stylists, braiders. If you got braids, you need them braids taken out, you need to check us out as well. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. It's Braid Takeout Bar. And donate your hair to Wig Capital Foundation. Again, that's Wig Capital Foundation. We also have marketing opportunities on the wig and hair recycling bin. So right now we have an author special right now. You want to tell me about it real quick?
Awesome. If you are an author and you would love to put your book on one of those wig recycling bins, I'm so excited about it because we have had other authors that have put their books on the wig recycling bins. And like she said, those wig recycling bins, they're in barbershops, they're in beauty salons, they're in schools, right? Barber schools, beauty schools. And so you're going to get a lot of exposure. And that's what we're talking about marketing, right? You want to be everywhere. Okay. You want to be everywhere. And when you're everywhere, you can literally get exposure, visibility, exposure. That's what marketing is all about. So get on one of those wig recycling bins, authors. Yes.
Yes. So I'm excited about that. And if you guys want to know more about that, you could just send me a DM or message, and I'll send you some information on how you can actually advertise and be on the show. And we would love to have you on today's Focus with Crystal. Let's talk about what you got going on. Let's focus on you and your business. I would love to know more about it. All you got to do is go to 443, text us 892-0807 and say, I want to be on the show. Excited. Again, we have Dr. Melanie Bonita, best-selling author and marketing guru. So let's get into that. Let's market like a celebrity on a budget.
I love it.
Because she gotta have me on the billboard, y'all. I'm about to be on the billboard. This face belongs on the billboard.
Yes. You know, and that, billboards are huge and they get a lot of eyes. And that's one of the reasons why I love, love, love billboards. Oh my goodness, I can't even count. I used to say, oh, we've been on like 20 or 30 or 40. We've been like, I would say, I'm just going to say almost 100 different billboards we've had in New York Times Square. We've had some in um, McDonald, Georgia. We get ready to have some in Dallas and Maryland. We have, I mean, it's just really, really blowing up, and exposure again is everything.
Yeah.
I remember when TD Jakes was getting ready to come out with his talk show. And I remember like everywhere I drove, I saw his billboards everywhere. And it was one of those things, it's like you can't forget to really forget about the show because you saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
And great, yes, you're on um yes, you're on social media, but what about the people that are not on Facebook? What
Right.
about the people that you want to catch everybody everywhere? You want to be on TV. I have a Roku channel that will be coming out soon where you can be on Roku. So I mean, you don't want to limit yourself to just social media. That's just one way. There's so many other places, and yes, a billboard, you can get millions of eyes on you in one day. So I
Yes.
do love billboards. Yeah.
So I know that you were on the billboard in Times Square. So tell me about that. How exciting was that? And what did that do to your brand?
Oh my goodness. It was very, very, very exciting. And I would say for my brand, it really exploded who Dr. Melanie Bonita is, because they're like, oh, who is that person on the billboard? And then, of course, with you being on a billboard with other people, they're sharing it on their platform, you're sharing it on yours. And so it's just getting out there and more people are seeing you. And one time, we actually, me and one of my clients, we actually did a book signing in front of the billboard. And that was even, yes, that was even
That's what
more
I'm talking
powerful.
about.
So we could point up and we could that's us on the billboard, and people get excited and they're like, you
Yeah.
have your book. And we had our book and we were able to sell some books right on the spot and able to go ahead and share that.
Okay. Well, that is very attractive.
It is very attractive. Now we had to move a couple times. Now I love the fact that in New York, um, you can they have like licenses, vendors licenses, right?
Yes, yes.
So to sell t-shirts, umbrellas, they sell everything on the street in New York City. But guess what? For books and newspapers, you don't even have to have a license.
Wow.
So yeah, see, that's when you see, that's why you have to be around people that know what's going on. When I'm a marketer, like I've done the research for almost everything. So I
Yes.
did the research. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I get a license? And they were like, oh, you don't need a license for books. And like I said, is that right? And so again, as they have certain areas in Times Square that you can sell and you can
Now
just
I see
set
why
up.
a lot of authors live in New York.
Oh yeah, I know some that used to sell them out I know one girl, she made $1 million selling her books out the trunk of her car.
Wow. And New
And this
York.
was before social media. So when I wrote my first book and she shared that story for 10 years before Facebook, she was selling her books out the trunk of her car every single day. And so that's why when people tell me, I can't sell any books, I don't know how to sell, open your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah. Open your mouth. And
Open your
it is a hustle though. It's a hustle, because I walked in bars, people sitting at the bar. I'm like, I'm selling my book. Would you like, while they sitting at the bar? You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't expect people to be interested in purchasing a book while they sitting at the bar. But honey, look, you sitting at the bar, you having fun, you're on a date. This is the perfect time to buy a gift or get a gift.
Absolutely.
And
But
then
now,
the nail salons and stuff like that. But it
that's what
is
I was going to say.
hustle.
Yeah.
It's not for the weak hearted. It is a hustle. But the great thing about it is once your book is in somebody's hand and you got an exchange of cash for that, that feels so good, And I get up early in the morning. I used to get up like, matter of fact, I used to stand in front of the giant grocery store at like 6, 7 in the morning. They open up at 6. I try to get there 7:30, and I'll be out there about to like 8, and I would try to sell at least 5 books a day when I was in hair school, and that's how
That's
I actually got
good.
through hair school, selling my hair books. Yeah, selling my books is how I got.
Yes.
So
But no, you're right. Like you said, we go places every day. We go to the gas station, we go to the grocery store, we go to. So, and I tell my people that are in my six figure author academy, my clients, look, give out a minimum of 10 bookmarks a day, right? You have your bookmarks. Ask them, can I, give them a compliment? Can I give you a bookmark? And when you do that, they like when you give them a compliment. So I don't have to come right out and say, oh, do you want to buy my book? No, I give them a bookmark because they feel like I'm giving them something and not selling them something. And then they ask me, what's my book about? I give them a 30-second elevator pitch and they say, oh, I'm going to go on Amazon. I say, oh, I have some right here and I'll get you an autographed copy. And then it's that easy. So you can sell 5, 10, 20 books a day. And I tell people, they're like, a six-figure author is easy, even if you're not doing book sign. I mean, if you're doing the bookmarks every day and you have a $20 book, if you sell 25 $20 books 5 days a week, that's literally 2,500 a week times 4, that's $10,000 a month, right? So you have $10,000 a month is easy. In order to make six figures, you only need $8,333.33. Did I go out? Oh, okay.
yeah, you did, but you back.
Okay, great. So yeah, you only need $8,333.33 to make six figures. That's all you need per month. 8,300. Right, y'all write that down if you're not driving, if you're watching. $8,333.33 per month, and you've made 100,000 per year. And of course, you add a couple more threes, and you've made $1 million a year. Instead of 8,000, you just make $83,333.33, and you've made $1 million a year. So it's not that hard to make six figures from your books. You're only selling 25 books a day.
So, you're only selling 25 books a day. But you
if
know
your
what?
book, if your books are $20.
But you have to find a place that where you can sell. And that is the key to it. And you got to find out when is a good time to sell. So
Crystal, no, I know people. I have clients that sell them on TikTok every day. You don't need, that's what I'm saying with social media. You don't have to go to Giant anymore. You don't have to sell them out your car. You can literally go live on TikTok and sell 100 books a day.
I guess so. Some people do. I guess I'm not the one. I'm still growing because I'm shy. I know it don't seem that way, but I am very shy. And then I'm country. So I gotta get that together. I'm shy and I'm country. So when I try, it clashes. And
no, believe me, it's people that are more country than you.
Like, oh, what did I say? They done banned me.
No, the people don't care. I'm telling you, it just like it doesn't have to be perfect. There are so many people that are on social media and they don't speak clearly. They're country, they're ghetto, they're everything else, but they still making money on social media and they're still selling their products on social media. So, you don't, it don't matter if you miss a word or you don't think you sound perfect. Look, done beats profession, making money. That's right. She put her TikTok on there. Yes. And so, yes, Tamara put, that's right, $8,333.30.
Yes.
That's it. You got to know your numbers. And so, like I said, a lots of authors that are selling books on TikTok every day. Every day. So now it's like, oh, I don't have to go to the grocery store. I don't have to go to the parking lot outside or all these places where you can sell books. You can sell them right from, and one lady, actually a couple of them, they're actually packing the books, putting the labels on it. While they're on TikTok talking. So they're packaging the books. So they're doing two things. They're selling their books, giving a little synopsis of their book. Some of them are reading the pages in their books. But
yes, I wanted to do that, but my book is a little bit expensive. I'm writing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Doing my loop book, my self-help book. That's more self-helpish.
Okay.
So I mean, even still, but see, I'm doing a pre-sales, and that's another thing about being an author. So even though I'm still a little new in the game, I do have people under me who books I publish. So
Awesome.
if you looking to get on somebody publishing, I do have that set up. But I'll be trying to explain to people that just because you have a book, you have to really know how to market it. You can't just say, "Oh, I got a book, people gonna buy it." No, it don't work that way. You
That's
gotta
right.
market it. You gotta let people know. You gotta talk about the book. You gotta go online. You gotta be able to, though. And the pre-sale part is the great thing about it, because you can pre-sale your book before you actually finish with your book. And so
Absolutely.
that's what I'm doing with the Loop. I'm pre-selling my Loop book right now. And I was explaining that to somebody. I'm like, look, you want to pre-sale first. You want to get you some sales before your book is done. They're like,
Yeah.
no, I want the book done. I'm like, no, you want your pre-sale while
Yes.
you're getting your book.
And you know what's so funny, Crystal? A lot of people don't know this. Oh, it looked like I'm frozen again, but it's okay. Can you hear me? If you
Yes.
can hear me, I'm going to keep going. Okay, great. So, one of the things that a lot of people don't know as well is when you pre-sale your book on Amazon, because you could do that up to a year in advance. So
Yes.
even if your book is not going to be released till July 2027, you can actually become a bestseller in pre-order status. You don't even have to wait till the book is done or written or anything. You have that book cover, you put it up for pre-orders on Amazon. Our
Yeah.
book that we just actually 2 days ago, the ebook was released, but we put it on Amazon back in March for International Women's Day,
Mm-hmm.
and it became a number one bestseller within 2 days. Like actually, I think it was one day. The next day, it was an Amazon bestseller,
Right.
and it was number one. So actually, it was the day before it was on bestsellers list, and then the second day it was number one. It became number one the second day, and so because it was number one, but the book wasn't completed yet. The book wasn't at the editors yet. The book wasn't, so like you said, in pre-order status, you don't have to wait. You definitely don't have to wait. I totally agree with that.
Right. So, okay. So that lets you guys know, for everybody out there who say, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. You got AI and you got pre-sales
Yes.
and you got free social media.
And
So
you could do
now,
your book cover with AI. I mean,
now
you don't
that's
have.
what I'm saying. Now what? Because now all you got to do is get your book cover together, a
Yeah.
synopsis, and a synopsis just what your book is about.
Right.
And you put that in AI. You have AI create your cover, your
Mm-hmm.
synopsis. You create an Amazon KP account. You go on there and you upload your book and you set your pre-sales. And you go tell everybody that your book is on Amazon and go buy
That's it. Lottie dottie, everybody. Not some. Lottie, because some of you have
it.
500 people
When
in
I
your
be
phone.
having my book in my hand, I'll be like, I got a book, one by book, book.
Yep, lottie dottie, everybody. I mean, people in your phone, some people go to a mega church and people in their church don't even know they have a book. It's like, no, everybody should know you are an author. You
Yes,
are a speaker. You are a coach. Whatever you are, people should know it. And if you
right.
show up enough to enough networking events, to enough social media, if you're really, really showing yourself. Oh, there you go. Okay. If you're if you're really doing what you need to do, then you would definitely be able to tell lottie dottie everybody.
Right.
Everybody. That's right, Sister Rita. You can have a story to tell. Tell it. Yes.
Yes.
Um, yeah, we can't see you, Crystal. I don't know why we can't see you, but
No,
you may need
I was
to.
giving you the
Okay.
floor.
Oh, you was giving me the okay, amen. Yes, that's fine. I have no problem. I can take the floor. I'm not shy at all. So
Yeah, because
no,
that's exciting. So, what tips would you give? Like we just say, hey, you got 4 tips what you need to do, but for
yeah,
like we just said, you can go to the bar, you can go on social media, you can go on chat, you can
yeah.
call your best friends, your uncles, your grandmamas, everybody you know. But how do you that part? Okay, so now you're a book author. right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, even though I'm a book author, I still don't be like, I'm a book author. Like, I really don't know, like, what that carry, what's that weight like? You know what I'm saying? What's that weight? But
Yes.
it is a title that carries much weight.
Absolutely.
So how would you say? I wouldn't say like. I guess how would you approach it? Like, how now that you're an author, like now you need to like what be around other authors. You need to like, attend coffee meetings now. Like get into some book reading. Like now you're an author. Like what is that lifestyle like? Because it's a lifestyle, right?
Right. So the first thing, and hey, Dr. Eric, how are you? So the first thing you want to do is, again, you want to show up. You want to show up, whether it's on social media. You want to show up at book signings, book events, have your own events, and that's another thing. A lot of authors, they don't even have their own book release event. So you want to have your own book release event when your book comes out, right? And you talked about already doing pre-orders. You can become a bestseller in pre-order status. But the key thing is consistency. Consistency is key. I don't care if you're going to show up on YouTube, if you're going to show up on Facebook, if you're going to show up on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whichever platform you decide. It could be 3, 4, 5. You have to show up. Your audience have to know who you are. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. But if you never show up, they're not going to know who you are. They're not going to like you, and they're not going to trust you. Okay. So that's the number one key is consistency. I don't care if you say good morning on Facebook, and you're going to see me even say good morning every day. Right. That's right. He said that's it. Consistency. So a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I'll show up once a week. Oh, I'll show up once, and then you'll see 2 months go by, and like, okay, well, what happened? Where are they? I haven't seen them in a while. You can't just show up on social media once every 2, 3 weeks, or when you feel like it,
Right.
if you're trying to sell. Right. Because I know some people, the only time they show up is when they selling, and that's not going to work. So number one is consistency. That's it. Consistency is key.
I'm trying to blow up your picture here, but it came out small.
It's all good. It's all good. So number one is consistency. Number two, oh, I like what he said. He said, even being a bestseller, they stop right there. And that's key. Oh, you better say that again. I know a lot of authors, because I've helped over 400 authors become Amazon bestsellers. And you're right. They stop after that. It's like, no, they're like, well, my book is, I don't care how old your book is. My first book, Daily Dose of Determination, 2011, was that 15 years old. I
Right.
still sell them all the time. You think people don't buy the Bible anymore? That's what, over 2,000 years old. You
You right
think
about
people you
they
think
sure do
people
every at your new church open every day.
right, and they're selling the Bible. But same thing with Think and Grow Rich. How old is that book? People still buying it.
Yeah.
People buy books that's 50 years old, 70 years old, 80 years, 100 years old. The books we have to read in high school, right? Some of those books that
Yes.
we read in high school, literature, those books are old. So it doesn't matter how old your book is. Look, if you're an author, get up today. Go online this evening.
Yes.
Start hearing your book. Read some pages. Give them like a quick synopsis. Tell them a little bit of the plot. Don't give it all. You definitely don't want to get it all, because you want them to buy the book.
Right.
But but you might want to give them a snippet. You may want to share some reviews, right? If you have a review. If you don't have any reviews on Amazon, that's another whole story. So that could be number 3, right?
Yes. Get some reviews.
And
She's dropping tea, y'all, because I'm an author and I'm soaking it up. I'm like, yes, honey, motivate me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, life be life. And so before we end, you got to give me what happened today. Did life for you today or anytime this month? And what happened? Not too personal, but how did you overcome it?
oh, absolutely. Life is lifing a lot. Yes. And you said something about motivation earlier. And one of the things David did in the Bible, he said, I had to encourage myself in the Lord.
Okay.
Right. So sometimes you may not have somebody that's going to encourage you. You may have to get the Bible. You may have to go on YouTube University and find your best motivational speaker and say, I need to listen to them so that
Thank
I can encourage myself in the Lord. So, I mean, I could be balled up under a rock right now. I mean, under covers. I mean, you talking, I was in the hospital in October and November. I got a real bad evil report in November, and you're going to have surgery, all of this. Then my mom goes in the hospital, and she was on life support the day before I was having my book boss brunch event. But I couldn't stop. I couldn't give up. I had people that were waiting on me, people that were relying on me that registered for this event.
you.
So not only was my mother on life support, went on life support the day before my event, then she was in the hospital for about 3 months, and then she passed the end of March. You talking about life be lifing? And
My
because of all of that with my mother, I forgot about my own situation. So when you say recently, Friday, the lady called me and said, well, you're supposed to have surgery. And I was like, ooh, I forgot all about that because I was dealing with going through, not only did my mother pass, but from January to June, I had 6 immediate family members pass.
wow.
So, yeah, it was a lot. But again, I have to always remember what I do is remember that somebody needs me and somebody needs what I have. God put me on this earth so that I could be a blessing,
Yes.
right? Not so that I could ball up under a cover for the next year, which I probably could or would. I know people that their mom died 10 years ago and they're still depressed. Like
Yes.
I can't because I have a responsibility. So that's what I do when life be life. And when that lady called me Friday, I take a moment. I take a moment, but you can't be down too long. Like my mentor Les Brown say, look, if you could, when you fall on your back, because if you could look up, you can get up.
That's right.
So
And
we
that's
have
the
to be
last
able
thing.
to get up. Yes, take a moment. Yes, get in the presence of God, pray, praise, worship, whatever you have to do. Take a moment to process, because it took me a moment even to process that my mother actually passed, right? It took me a moment. And then when it finally hit me, mind you, it was March 30th when she passed. It wasn't until Mother's Day when it actually like really hit me like this is my first Mother's Day without my mother.
Wow.
And so when you say life be life, and sometimes it's stack upon stack upon stack upon stack, but we have to realize that God put us here to bless others. And after we take our moment, we have to be able to get back up and we have to go and flow and do what God called us to do. If he tells you to write another book, you write another book. If he tells you to pray for somebody else, you pray, you do your dance, you preach, you teach, you go live, whatever it is. I don't know what he told you to do, but whatever it is he told you, whoever's watching this live right now, whatever he told you to do, that's what you do. Because like I said, I didn't know my book was going to keep somebody from committing suicide. I just knew that I was going to obey God when he told me to write the book. You don't know what. Yeah, we were built for the storm and amen. That's right, Dr. Eric. I'm telling you. So we were built for this. And so when life be life, we just got to get back up and we got to press towards the mark of the high caller in Christ Jesus, like he told us to, because we don't know what's at the other end of our obedience. We don't know what somebody else is going through they might be on a verge of committing suicide that day. But because they read a page in your book, because they heard you pray on a live, because they saw you do whatever it is God told you to do that day, now they're still here. Now they could help somebody else with their story. Amen. Yes, Daily Dose of Prayer. That's one of my most recent books, Daily Dose of Prayer, a 365-day journey to help you pray powerful and purposeful prayers. And so, yes, again, we don't know. We really don't know what what's at the other end of our obedience. So I had to say that because life is gonna be life, but guess what? God be Godding.
I know that's right. And that's a blessing because you're right. You don't know. And I was sad before I came on this talking to you, and life was life for me today. Missing my daughter, crying about my baby. And I was just frustrated about life today. And you said something that you said that sometimes you have to what did you say that passage
Press
verse?
towards the mark of the high calling, and you have to encourage yourself in the Lord like
Encourage
David
us. And
did.
that's what I was doing today. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing. And you made it clear to me that that's what I was doing. And I had to do that today. I had to encourage myself in the Lord. I had to. Like, for me to push through to even get on this call with you, I had to encourage myself in the Lord today. And because it is just so terrible, it's just so terrible. Like, how can a human being ask for money to kill and destroy? But you can't ask for money to build and feed and take care of people. I just don't get it. And it took me there. I was just so sad for mankind, and I had to encourage myself in the Lord. So I'm thankful that you wrote Daily Dose of Prayer, because it gave me a chance to talk to you and encourage and uplift me. So you're right. You don't know who your book will encourage or affect. And just because you did it, just because you didn't give up, just because you stayed with the mission, you encourage somebody like me and whoever might be other who's listening, who might be listening later on in the future. Because like you said, no book is old. No media is really old. Like 10 years from now, somebody will be able to watch this. If they still allow us to be up on YouTube or whatever the case may be. I'll still have it saved. You will have it saved. But it's not a dull moment. We watch YouTube all the time, and videos be 5 and 6 years old, 10 years old, 2 years old. Nobody's checking for that. Nobody's saying, well, is this too? Now, maybe when you start getting a little bit in depth, you want to be like, okay, I want this to be a little bit more to date. But most of the information that we're watching is old. It's dated. It's not 2026, 25, some 22, 21, 2019, 2012. So, but it's there. You see what I'm saying? And those people are still making money. They did that video in 2012 and it's 2026, but I'm watching it.
Yes.
So that was a huge, huge point. So I want to thank you so much for joining us on today's Focus with Crystal and talking about your journey and your book and sharing your tips with us. So before we go, we got about 3 minutes. Let the people know how they can purchase your book, how they can support you, and how they can get your coaching, and whatever great things you're doing as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Crystal. I greatly appreciate it. Yes, definitely, definitely. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate all the support, Tamara and Sister Aretha and Dr. Eric and all those that were on earlier as well. Thank you again for definitely joining us and commenting. We appreciate that as well, because I know people are watching. They not commenting. Comment and say something. But anyway, if you're driving, though, don't comment if you're driving. But yeah, so you definitely can connect with me. Of course, on social media. Most of my social media is Melanie B Speaks. Melanie B Speaks. The only one that's not is Facebook, because my Melanie B Speaks, somebody hacked it. And I can't get into the Melanie B Speaks Facebook anymore. But everywhere else, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere else is Melanie B Speaks. And so you can message me there, say, hey, I need you to coach me. I want to be on that billboard. I want to be on a billboard in New York Times Square or in my local area. Let me know if you want to join our Six Figure Author Academy, or if you just want to be interviewed on my Six Figure Author Soundstage podcast as well. Yeah, thank you. Sister Tamara put my YouTube in the chat. Yes, thank you. So, but you can get my books at melaniebonitabooks.com. That's where you'll get the paperback autograph copy of my book. You can also go ahead and get a copy of my ebooks if you want ebooks, and that will be on Amazon. You'll get it on your Kindle, and very soon I'll have my books translated in Spanish. And in addition to that, we'll also be having, in addition to Spanish, we also be having our books on audiobooks. So I'm working towards those two things very soon. So yes, okay, awesome. You want to be on my podcast and Crystal podcast too, Dr. Eric? Eric is going to be on our billboard in Maryland very soon. So we're looking forward to his billboard that will be in Baltimore, Maryland. And so we're super excited. Like I said, we have lots of people that are getting on the billboards and displaying their books. He has lots of books as well. And that's what I'm finding. People that just have, people don't just have one book anymore. It's like you got to have several books that are getting out, because you never know which book is going to bless someone.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in today, for listening and watching. You guys are so amazing. God bless you all. And thanks for tuning in to today's Focus with Crystal. You can follow us on here on YouTube, on our Facebook page, Today's Focus with Crystal. Again, if you need any type of support and prayer, go to beacons.ai/Crystal Hughes Ministry. We're there for you. If you need to donate wigs or need some wigs donated, check out Wig Capital Foundation on Facebook as well as on our Beacon website. Again, beacons.ai/Crystal Hughes Ministry. And shout out to all our authors, our 100 authors who signed up. Shout them out real quick.
Awesome. So to be on the, if you want to put your book on the bin in the barbershop or beauty supply store or beauty salon. So we had Dr. Nandi. She's been on one of our bins, our wig recycling bins. We have Audrey, Dr. Audrey Graves. She has several books, and she's on our bins. And I'm telling you, it's so many people. So then we say Audrey, Dr. Nandi, Jackie. Then we have Jackie Dorr. Yes. Say that again. Yes, Jackie Dorr. She's another author. That her YouTube channel is amazing. You definitely want to look her up. But Jackie Dorr, and she is on a wig recycling bin as well. So we have some authors on here. I know Dr. Eric has several books. I don't know if you want to be on a wig recycling bin. And you're right in Maryland. So yes. And Tamara, she's right in Maryland as well. Her book will be coming out in the future. Okay. She's working on her book. And of course, Sister Aretha she just released a book about a month ago. And so, yes, all these authors are in the house and aspiring authors. And I know most of the people that will be watching the replay are authors as well. So definitely. LaShonda. She's actually a co-author in one of my books. I'm not sure if she'll have a book in Life Prompt Studios. He is actually, he does AI influencers. He will do, so he's definitely, so we have, again, quite a few media personnel and authors that watch that connect with me on YouTube.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and nice to meet you again. I'm Crystal Hughes, your host of Today's Focus with Crystal, and see you soon. And stay tuned next Wednesday, and hopefully you'll be on the show.
Yes, and if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to Crystal's channel, subscribe to my channel. Yes. Like and subscribe and share. If you like what you heard today, make sure you share the broadcast.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.